Yo, what is up guys, Ghost here, welcome back to another video, and in this one, Shadow, the game director of Delta Force, has addressed a lot of burning issues that the community has with the game, so skill-based matchmaking, the anti-cheat so-called spyware that installs along with the game, Battle Pass XP gating, which is another big point of controversy, matchmaking times, the ranked mode. All of these things have been addressed by him. A lot of this is kind of similar to the AMA he did on Reddit the other day, but there is also some new things that he had to share in here as well. So I'm going to sort of quick fire all of these as much as I can for you guys. As always, if you aren't already, make sure you are subscribed for more Delta Force content here on the channel. If you do enjoy, plenty more of that to come, as well as Battlefield. And as always, guys, I massively appreciate the support. Couldn't be doing this without you, so thank you to everybody who does watch the videos. Okay, so question number one here is, why do you use kernel level anti-cheat, and is it monitoring us? And this is what he had to say. Anti-cheat measures are an essential element of online shooters, and in our game, we aim to provide players with a fair and enjoyable gaming environment by employing the most professional and effective anti-cheat methods. For Delta Force, we utilize a kernel-level anti-cheat mechanism, which has already been successfully implemented in games like Crossfire and League of Legends. Despite our strict anti-cheat measures, we have still encountered instances of kernel-level cheats, and in such cases, we have quickly taken action to ban the cheaters and block the use of those tools. Since the launch of the PC Open Beta on December 5th, we have banned 1,107 cheaters with a ban duration of 10 years for each. We've also banned 781 devices and have actively prevented cheating behavior in real time, resulting in 1,251 instances of blocking and 3,230 kicks. Moving forward, we will regularly publish updates on anti-cheat measures and ban lists within the community, ensuring real-time communication with players. End quote. So for anybody who's worried that the anti-cheat system is going to act like spyware on your system, their defense here essentially is that this needs to be in place to combat the cheats that are working at the kernel level, and they've already been in use in games like Crossfire and League of Legends. But that doesn't completely rule out that those games' anti-cheat systems aren't also spying on people's hardware. I think really when it comes down to it, you really cannot be 110% sure that they're not spying on you, right? I mean, I know it sounds kind of far-fetched, but it's not completely outside the realm of possibility either. Personally, for me, I don't worry about that sort of thing too much, and there may be some of you in the comments who will lambast me for saying that and say you really should be worried. I don't. I just kind of prefer to live my life and enjoy. If I'm being spied on by spyware, then I'm just kind of like, so be it. You know, I'm still enjoying the game at the end of the day. I really wish I could sit here and 100% tell you guys that this isn't spyware. That's what the game director is saying, and I would like to be able to believe him 100%, but can we? Like 110%? I honestly don't know. So basically, use your own judgment. If it is something that you are like super crazy worried about, then I guess that means you won't be able to play the game. But if you're more like me and you're a little bit more carefree about those kind of things, then it's probably not something that you should worry about too much. At the end of the day, it's up to you. Okay, next question was, does the game have skill-based matchmaking, and can it be removed? Quote, I believe that a professional skill-based matchmaking system takes various factors into account when making decisions. These factors include win rate, mode preferences, KD ratio, and game score mechanisms, which determine a player's skill level and match them with similarly skilled players. However, I feel that this mechanism doesn't align well with Delta Force, as we aim for a more random and pressure-free gaming experience for players. Therefore, we do not use skill-based matchmaking. In our open beta, we have observed a significant influx of new players to Delta Force who may not be familiar with the gameplay and modes. To provide a smoother learning experience for these newcomers, we have divided the game into separate matchmaking pools for new players and more experienced players, allowing everyone to progress and learn at their own pace. We've also seen feedback from creators in the game community regarding issues such as high ping values or longer matchmaking times. I can confirm that this is not due to skill-based matchmaking. As Warfare mode requires 64 real players in different regions and time zones, there is a certain amount of waiting time involved. Additionally, the need for multiple game starts and map requirements, along with the necessity of ensuring good network latency, can result in some players experiencing high ping or longer matchmaking times. However, as we continue to add more servers and attract more players to Delta Force, we will optimize the overall gaming experience, and I believe that these issues will be resolved. In the future, we hope that everyone will enjoy an entertaining and stress-free gaming experience. End quote. So he says, according to him, that skill-based matchmaking isn't in the game at all. There's just one separate pool of players, like he said in the AMA, with beginner players, newbies basically, and then all of the other players are grouped into the other pool, and there's just no skill-based matchmaking going on there at all. I don't know if there's team balancing. I feel if there is, he should have mentioned that. Yes, maybe there isn't what he calls skill-based matchmaking in the game, where, as he stated, it looks at your KD ratio, your win rate, and all of these other statistics. But I would say skill-based matchmaking is more than that. Just because it isn't quite as aggressive as Call of Duty's doesn't mean it's not skill-based matchmaking. And quite frankly, again, as much as I want to believe Shadow, I just don't feel as a player like that is my experience. That does not mirror my experience of playing the game. Every single lobby I play in is not always incredibly sweaty, but pretty sweaty. It's never an easy time. I'm not the world's best player out there, guys, but I'm a pretty decent player. For reference, I've maybe got like a 2.5 to 3 KD in general in Battlefield games, so I'm definitely above average. And that's not meant as a boast or anything, that's just to say that if I was playing every game against completely random players, I will be playing against much easier opponents much more often, but that simply isn't the case. Again, I would love to hear what your guys' experience is with this. Do you agree with me in this case? Like, are your lobbies as sweaty as mine? Or do you completely disagree with me? By all means, let me know if you completely disagree as well, and leave that down in the comments. So for anybody who's hoping for skill-based matchmaking to be removed, I guess we can't really campaign for it to be removed if they are denying that it's in the game at all, which is confusing to me. Anywho, moving on. Next question. Regarding ranked mode, there seems to be no difference whether it is selected or not. Do players who choose either ranked or unranked end up in the same lobby? Quote, I apologize for the confusion caused by a localization issue in our game. We take this matter seriously and will make the necessary corrections. I can assure you that the matchmaking in ranked mode does not take player scores into account. Our intention was simply to find teammates for everyone as quickly as possible, considering reasonable ping values and player counts in a 64-player setting. This means that whether players have selected rank mode or not, we will place them in the same matchmaking queue, ensuring equal wait times and an enjoyable gaming experience. End quote. So obviously this leads us to the question of, why is there a rank mode in there at all? Surely you would just always want to play the rank mode because that's how you get merit points, that's how you get up through the ranks, and as you climb the ranks, you get stuff, you get loot, you get XP boosters, etc. If you're not playing with the rank mode on, then you don't get any of that stuff, so why, like, even have it as an option? Like, am I missing something here? I just don't really get it. You may as well just not have it as a toggleable option at all, and maybe that's something they are going to do in the future. They're just going to disable that button altogether. Now, this question, you guys are going to like this one. Can the Battle Pass XP cap be removed? So just to explain here, in this game, the amount of XP that you can accrue and work towards in the Battle Pass is capped by a weekly limit. I think it's around 24 or 25 Battle Pass tiers. The Battle Pass has 150 tiers, which means you can only get 24 or 25 tiers per week, and then you have to wait until that cap has been removed. And this was their answer. Quote, our intention in setting a Battle Pass XP cap is to ensure that players can experience Delta Force without feeling overwhelmed. We also want to discourage players from spending excessive amounts of time playing the game, as it can be detrimental to their well-being. However, we are open to further adjustments and optimization of the Battle Pass XP system in the future, so please continue to submit feedback and suggestions on this topic. End quote. So, That's kind of an interesting answer. What they are saying here is they don't want us to live an unhealthy lifestyle. They don't want us to spend too much time playing their game, and so that's why they're capping the Battle Pass XP. Now, I know this sounds like a kind of bullshit answer from them, but this may not be that far from the truth. I do know that in China, they have initiatives to stop, especially the younger generation, so people under the age of 18, from playing computer games for too long. So I think you have to log in with some personal identification in order to game there, and you only get a certain amount of hours or minutes or whatever to game each day, and then that's it, you're sort of locked out. So maybe that is working in tandem with this initiative. Obviously, the Western audience, not so much used to that. I also find it kind of weird that they say we're open to further adjustments, so please keep the feedback coming. As far as I've seen, the only feedback that they've been getting about this Battle Pass XP cap has been to remove it. I don't think I've seen a single player on Reddit, YouTube, anywhere on the internet saying, "Oh, I love this XP cap. It's great. You know, this is fantastic. This is what we want." I think the feedback is pretty clear that people want you to remove it. So now what people are looking for is, are you going to do that or not? And personally, I think the answer should be yes. It's sort of ironic because I think the FOMO is even worse because I feel as if I have to make sure I log in to hit all of my Battle Pass XP for that week, because if I don't, well, then the next week I've fallen behind, so it actually has the adverse effect. If it was just completely open like a regular Battle Pass, yes, okay, somebody, if they really wanted to no-life it, they could finish the entire Battle Pass in 1 week, but how's about just having some self-control and touching some grass? You know, at some point you have to put the responsibility with the player and not the game developers to not dedicate every waking moment of their life to playing the game. And honestly, to me, it sounds much more like they're hiding behind that as an excuse, and the real truth of it is just that they want you logging in every week to see what's new with the game, making sure that you're not missing out on anything, you're checking out the store, you're maybe spending a few dollars here and there, because that's going to lead to much more revenue. But I digress. Okay, next question here. There are too many UI layers. Too many things to click and everything is too bright. Well, I haven't heard anyone complaining that everything is too bright, but are there any plans to improve the UI? Quote, I understand that the UI can be overwhelming. We will actively work on optimizing the UI and take into account the suggestions provided by players. End quote. So, bit of a nothing burger answer there. Essentially, yes, they're going to improve the UI. What are they going to do? When are they going to do it? Who knows? This UI, though, is very indicative of a developer who has been working on lots of mobile games, just like Team Jade. If you go and play any mobile game that is pay to win, this is just what it looks like. You have so many different screens and flashing yellow exclamation marks to click on and claim your free goodies, your logging in goodies, your daily missions, all these little things. And they've obviously taken what they've learned from the mobile market and applied it to the PC market with Delta Force. That is clearly not going down so well. I'm not against daily missions and that sort of thing per se. I don't really have a problem with FOMO. If I log in and I've got daily missions and I just want to play however I want to play and I don't care to complete those missions, well, I have strong enough willpower that I just don't care and I'm just going to play the game. I don't really have FOMO about it. I think the problem for most people is that it just takes so goddamn long to click through all of these various tabs and various pages and check what is available, which missions can you be completing in tandem with other missions so that you're playing the right game mode, the right operator, using the right weapon, upgrading the right weapon. There are so many conditions that have to be met at the same time if you want to be doing things as efficiently as possible, that everyone's kind of ripping out their hair trying to achieve that. So I really, really do hope that they make some serious changes there. And last question here is, the vehicles are difficult to control. Will there be optimizations to improve their handling? Quote, yes, I have seen feedback regarding vehicle handling. Our team is dedicated to improving the physics system and overall handling of vehicles, and we have plans for significant optimizations in future versions. We also encourage players to try out the vehicle controls in the attack defend drill mode to get a better feel for them. End quote. So it is good to hear that they are working on the vehicles. I feel like If we compare Delta Force to Battlefield 2042, the vehicle gameplay for me is the weakest link. It really is pretty bad, especially when it comes to the helicopters, much worse than Battlefield 2042's. So it is good to hear that they are making some improvements there. I would also really like to see some sort of a test range though. Going into the attack defend drill mode just isn't a good environment for learning the vehicles. You have no control over what map you're going to get. You have no control over whether you're going to be on attack or defense. And all of those things change which vehicles are going to be available to you. So if you want to try and fly in the Little Bird, well, you need to just hope that you're on the correct map and the correct team. A lot of the time you have to re-queue, and after re-queuing like 5 times, I just gave up. I couldn't be bothered anymore. And furthermore, even if you do get in the helicopter, you crash, then you've just got to wait for the respawn. So it's just not a very good solution. So that's another thing that I really like to see, an actual proper test range for the vehicles. Just like we've got in-game for the gunsmith, the test range there is incredible for the weapons. Why can't we see something similar for the vehicles? So that is about going to do it, guys. I'm going to wrap this one up and leave it there. As always, leave me all of your comments, your thoughts and feedback down below in the comment section. Subscribe for more Delta Force. Thank you so much for watching the video. Happy holidays, and I will see you guys in the next one.